Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. It's me you were looking for. Well, I was looking for you, and I'm glad you're here. And it is Tuesday. Welcome to Vessel of Hope. I'm here to give you your Tuesday goodness, your Tuesday greatness, your Tuesday time to step away from the work week and what's going on in the world for us to have our conversation, our Tuesday conversation. I know I love our conversation. I hope you love it too. That's why you're here, so we can just chat, chit chat, right? It's always good to catch up with the people that you love and that you appreciate. See how their day is going out as week is going. White Prophet Right, Prophetess Joyce? Right, Prophetess Diaz, it's Glover. Hello. Isn't it good to just catch up and to say what's going on, Prophetess Guy? So here we are once again to have our conversations today. But hey, for those of you there that are on Facebook, I need you to go ahead and click the love button and don't forget to follow and share it on your Facebook page. And for those of you there that are on YouTube, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and go ahead and share it on your YouTube page as well. Let's go ahead and let's spread Vessel of Hope. So somebody gonna pass by and be like, who's that girl with that red glasses? Let me see what she's saying. You never know, right? It's like the New York Lotto. They say, hey, you never know. See, never know who will want to hear, and they might be encouraged. They might cause them to think a little bit, or might even cause them to join the next time so they can join in our conversation, right? All right. So today we're gonna be talking about you have questions, right? You have questions. We all always have questions. I think we always have questions. We have questions about a lot of things, even just the basic things in life, right? Our most common questions are left unanswered, right? You have these questions, the why questions. That's the main one. That's the big one. The why questions. And a lot of kids, I remember when my nieces and nephews when they were younger, and you'll tell them something, but why? Especially my niece, but why? Oh, she still doesn't anyway. But but why? But why? It's like, but why? It's the why questions. I always want to ask why. Why this? Why me? Why them? Why that? Or why do I have to do it that way? Or why does it have to be this way? Just the whys. And that's one of the most familiar things that you'll get as you're growing up, or as you hear the why or the questions, because when you're writing, what's one of the things they like to tell you, Prophetess Guy? The who, what, where, when, why, how, right? Who, what, where, when, why, how. When you're writing a story or writing something, they teach you this in elementary school, your basic writing class. Who, when, where, why, how, right? But most of the things, when you're trying to solve a problem or something, you get stuck with the why. The why. So this is the thing. You have questions. The why. You why do you think as an individual that you have questions? Tell me. Why do you think as an individual that you have questions? Right? Right? You have so many questions of the whys, right? You have to do the you say to yourself, or you say to someone, you have to do this. Why do you have to do this? Right? Why do you have to do this? Or like sometimes, if you hear something in the middle of like a certain day or certain things, like if I when I watch the news and all these traumatic things that happen. And I'm using like, "Oh, why do they have to do this now? It's the holiday season. Why do they have to do it? Christmas is around the corner. Why do they have to do crazy things? Why does someone have to kill someone? Why do they have to do all these things? This is holiday season. Why? Why are they doing it? Why are they doing it? Because it's like in my brain, I'm thinking certain seasons things shouldn't happen. Like holiday season, Christmas season, you hear someone die. Like I saw someone the other day put up on Facebook that this person died, and I think they were probably like 65. And I was like, oh my God, like you're gonna wait till after Christmas to die? Like, just these simple things. But simple things like that. Not even it's not even simple, but just things like that. You begin to ask why. Why does it have to be this way? Why do you have to go? Why do you have to go there? Sometimes when someone's angry with you and they're having a heated argument or a heated debate, and they say something that punch you in the gut, right? Right, Prophet Joyce to punch you in, and you're like, why you have to go there? Why do you have to say that? right? Why do you have to pull that? Why do you have to bring that back? Why do you have to, or why do you have to take me there? Why do you have to take me there? Right? I always have to say, "Ooh, don't allow these people to take you over there." But these questions run in your brains, right? Right? The questions. I would assume that we ask questions because we need answers, right? You would think so, right? That you're asking a question because you need an answer to a question. Why is always a need to know. Prophetess guy, you talking right. You talking right. You talking right. You ask the question why, because you need an answer, right? If someone ever asks a question, but it's rhetorical, right? They say, "Why you mad?" I used to like to say to the kids when they come in there upset, I'm like, "Why you mad?" I don't really want an answer to why you're mad. I'm just being rhetorical. Like you have no need to be mad. Why you mad? Why you upset? Why you angry? Or why do you act that way? Why you doing this? Why you doing this? But most whys or most questions being asked are because you need an answer. Questions are here for a reason, right? That's something we should try to get, right, Sister Glover, or try to understand that questions are here for a reason. You don't just ask a question because you just want to ask it. When I ask someone a question, I sincerely want to know the answer because they're here for a reason, right? Questions are here for a reason. Why you ask questions like, why are they together? Why are they together? Or why did they say it like that? Why did they say it like that? You know, I like to say that a lot. Why they gotta say it like that though? Why you have to say it like that? You said it like it was an attitude in there. You said it like you ready to fight. You said these fighting words, right? Why you have to say it like that, right? Or why did you come now? Why did you come now? Why did it have to come? Like sometimes when you're in a setting, sometimes if you're going to hang out with some people, or you're going to be in a setting with a group of people, what's one of the questions you're going to ask? Is that person going to come? Is that person going to be there? Because don't forget, I have beef with so and so. So are they going to be there? Because if they're going to be there, I kind of don't want to be there. Or I don't even want to be in that headspace that they're going to be there, and I'm going to have to try to avoid them. I'm going to have to try to be nice to them or cordial to them. So that's a question you ask. Hey, we're having Christmas gathering. Come on. Everyone's coming over. Who's everyone? Who's everyone? These are questions. Who's everyone? Oh, is so and so going to be there? I hope you didn't invite so and so, because if you invite so and so, I don't know. I'm gonna have to stay in the corner, or I may not come. Questions, right? You have questions. You have questions. Or why don't they just leave me alone? Here's another why, right? Why you late? Yeah, yeah, Prophetess guy, you're a late person. Do you get to where you get to on time, right? Why are you late? Sometimes I want to ask my doctor that, like, why are you late? Like, I'm here. I was here. You sent me out a text and an email set to be here 30 minutes before the appointment, or 15 minutes the latest. I came here 45 minutes before, and I'm sitting here waiting. You come and see me an hour and a half after. Why are you late, doc? Right? Why you late? Right? So Prophet Streets. So we go through the why. Why can't I get that promotion? Why can't I get that promotion? You have questions. You have questions. Why can't I get out of this rut? You ever been in that place where you're like, oh, I just like it, just I got you're trying to move, right? But it's like you're stuck in the molasses and you're trying to push yourself, trying to move, but like like you can't seem to progress, right? You can't seem to move forward. But so you're like, why am I still stuck in this rut? Why is my life like this? Why is my life like this? You get to the what is it, the crossroad. We had the crossroad in life. I did it. We had a conversation about crossroad. I think last year we had a conversation about crossroad. But you're at the crossroad in life, and you're like, why is my life like this? Right? Yes, like you can't get out of park. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Prophet Sharice. You're sitting there and it's like you're pushing, but it's like you're not moving. Like, why? Why am I in this rut? Why is my life like this? And I'm sure many of you have had these questions, because these are questions that really get you thinking, and really get you trying to figure out if you are where you really want to be, or what do you need to do to get where you want to be. And there's where the question go. You have questions. What do I need to do to get out of this? What do I need to do better? What do I need to do to get to this place? What I need to do? You have questions. You have questions. Because when you do the who, what, where, when, why, how, you come out and then you end up with, what do I need to do? Or because this, right? The who, what, where, when, why, your questions, what do I need to do? How do I get there? Because of this. And I like when I ask questions. I like when someone say, you know what, maybe this is what you should do, or maybe you should try this. My best friend's good at that. You just throw any scenario at her, she'll process it, she's thinking, and she'll come back, and then a day later, she'll call you and be like, I was thinking about this. I'm like, girl, I done moved on from that. You still think about that? It's like, yeah, I was thinking about this, Marcel, and this is what I was thinking. And and what about this? What about this? If we do it this way, we do it. And I'm like, girl, I done left already. No, 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 no. And she'll go back because her brains is always like, she got to get in solution mode. Right. And sometimes, so that's what you say to your, even to yourself, to your brains. Okay, I have all these questions, I need to get in solution mode, because I'm asking all of these whys, all of these questions I have, so I need to find a solution. Right, I need to find a solution. So but here, question plague your mind because it wants an answer that will soothe you, that will calm you, or even give a remedy to the racing of your thoughts. I'm going to say that one more time because I thought that was nice. Apostle, you think that was nice? That was sweet, right? Yeah, Apostle, give me a nod. That was nice. Right, 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 right. Questions plague your mind because it wants an answer that will soothe you, that will calm you, or that will give you a remedy of the racing of your thoughts, to stop the racing of your thoughts. One more time for the people in the back. See, questions plague your mind. For you, Prophet Sharice, question plagues your mind because it wants an answer that will soothe you, that will calm you, that will give you a remedy to stop the racing of your thoughts. And that's why it's there. Because it wants to stop you want the answer to stop the racing of your thoughts. You want prophetess guy, that when a question comes out of you, when you're thinking these things, you want an answer. No one asks a question because they just want to ask a question, unless you just want to be talking for talking. I'll be like, oh Lord, there you go. You ever been around someone and they're just saying stuff and you're like, oh my God, this don't make no sense. They're just saying stuff and they're asking questions. You're like, what? That has nothing to do with nothing. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. This is what I like to do. See, like, even like Apostle in the prayer line, she'll say, let's get out of the text, right? And then she'll go and she'll say what she got to say, and then she'll come back to the text. Just like me, I'll say, you know what? This has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I just want to say this because I want to make sure that we're jumping into a new question or a new thought so that we can be on the same page. But again, the question plagues your mind because it wants an answer to soothe you, calm you, or give you a remedy to stop your racing thoughts. Because when you have questions, what are you doing? All you're doing is thinking. Thinking. You ever sit down and you're talking to someone and they said something and then you're like, what did you say? And they said, you weren't listening to what I was saying? You're like, oh, my thoughts are far off. I just have all these things I'm just thinking about. What is that? It's plaguing your mind because you want answer to soothe you, right? So here's what the definition of question is. Question is a state or phrase used to find out information, right? What did I just say? Y'all, huh? Only I told Apostle today. I said only Father God know, right? Question is right. A sentence. That's what I meant. I don't even know where I got state from. I'm in a state. A sentence or phrase used to find out information. Right, Sister Gleba? That's what question is. It's something used to find out information. Why do you think when you go to court, what did the lawyers do? They ask you a question because they want you to unfold the story. They want you to unfold the events. They want answers. They want answers to what's going on, to what's happening, right? So question is a sentence or phrase used to find out information. So when someone asks you a question, Prophetess Cherise, right, Sister Glover? They want answers. They're asking you questions to give an answer. You know when someone's asking you a question, and I'm this type of person. I have this bad habit. If someone's asking me a question, I gotta start from the bottom. Like we gotta start from we start from the ground because I need to lay a foundation. So when we finish, That's it. Like you, like I don't want you to leave and be like, I don't know what's happening. And as a way I'm going, you understand? Like I say that to you all sometimes. We having a conversation. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Because I want to make sure that if I'm answering the question, right, that you just posed to me, that I'm giving you information to fill those gaps. Right? So when a question is asked, it's asked to find the answer. Have you ever asked someone a question and they say, I don't know? Boy, let me tell you, Prophet Sharice. Oh, you ever ask someone a question and you know they know, or you know that they should know, or they're the one that started the whole conversation. So you ask them a question as to the conversation. Oh, I don't know. Let me tell you, this make me just want to throw a break. Because you're the one that has the information. So have you ever asked someone a question and they say, I don't know? And what do you say? What do you mean you don't know? Why is this going? What you mean you don't know? Like when you're getting ready to scold the kids, or you're getting ready to figure out what their problem, what went on, and so on and so forth, and you're asking them, well, why did you do that? I don't know. What you mean you don't know? You don't know why you did that? You don't know why you said that? Right? Or if you're asking someone in a relationship and you said, oh, but why did they leave? I don't know. You don't know. I mean, given thoughts. Some people just leave because they didn't want to leave. But I mean, you had no signs last week, last month, last year. You don't know. I mean, nothing. You can't pick up on nothing. I can't pick up on nothing. I don't know. I don't. That's always a mystery to me. And I'm not saying that person's lying. I'm just saying that's a mystery to me. I mean, that the person who left, they must have been like a pathological liar, a pathological soother, because you just picked up and left, and you gave no signs as to why you were going to leave. You didn't have an argument, nothing. You didn't had no argument, nothing, nothing. You didn't suspect nothing, nothing. I just don't know. And sometimes I think that falls back to as little kids. Because you ever ask some kids some questions sometime and they say, I don't know. And you're like, oh, you can't scold them for that, for them not knowing. Because maybe they really don't know. They don't know how to articulate what happened or how they got into this situation. I don't know. And I think sometimes as adults, when questions get hard, right? You have questions. When it gets hard or when it gets tough, your best response is to say, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And it's true. Sometimes really don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't know why they left. I don't know why I failed. I don't know what happened in the circumstance leading up to this. How you don't know? How you don't know to the circumstance leading up to this? Sometimes that just you see that's get my brains going because then now I have more questions. Because how you don't know the circumstance leading up to this now, Prophetess Guy? Sometimes they really don't know. Yeah, and that's what I say, Prophetess Guy, for real. Sometimes they really don't know. They really don't know. If someone asks me a question and I say, you know what, I don't know, but let me try to do some research and figure it out, and then I'll come back to you. Because I mean, because now when they ask that question, that leave me thinking I'm trying to figure out the answer to. I'm like, man, that's a good question. I didn't get the answer to that. How you figure that out? Especially these kids in Sunday school, they be going all over here like, what in the world? Where did you come up with that question from? All right, let's forget the Sunday school lesson. Let's go on with this question because we got to figure it out, right? But sometimes I know, sometimes some people really don't know, or even why is there no growth? Why is there no growth? Why is there no personal growth? Why is there no spiritual growth? Why is there just no growth? Why is there no growth? These are questions of the why. It becomes frustrating because some questions are easier to answer. And when you do not receive the answer, it leaves you with more questions. I know that's me. I know that's me. And I say many times, this is why I don't like to ask questions. Because if the answer is not clear, it leaves me with more questions. Like sometimes, I'll hear stories or so on and so forth, and I go to the pastor and I was like, so this is what was said and so on and so on and so forth. But then I'm like, but this not adding up. This not adding up. The one and the one, the one and the one, the one and the one. How they said it, the one and the one made 5, and it's supposed to make 2. So now I'm trying to figure out how did they get that 1 plus 1 to come to 5? Where did that 4 come to the 1 to make the 5? Right? So then it leaves you with more questions. Like, I don't understand. This makes no sense. How is it possible? Right? So again, when you do not have the answer to the questions, it leaves you with more questions. You know, Like I said this, I think I shared this one time. My nephew, I picked him up from school. He was little, he's probably like 4 or 5. I picked him up for like daycare or something, kindergarten, pre-K, something, one of those things. And we were walking home, and he said to me, he's like, Auntie Marcel, who made God? And I'm like, oh Lord Jesus, Lord, this child is So when you answer the question, then they'll come back and say, does God live in the sky? And you're like, oh my gosh, can we just can we just finish? Can we just finish this? I done just got out of school, right? I was probably like in high school then. I just got out of school. I'm gonna pick you up. I'm trying to drop you home, take you to the house so we can eat and relax and do my homework. I'm done with the day. Don't ask me no question. I already answered a whole bunch of questions when I was in school, right? So here it is. So he come ask you a question. You're like, oh, and it doesn't matter the answer you give. It leads to more questions because you have questions, and that's just how life is. Like the simple question: why do people die? Right? Why do people die? And I always say, God made this earth. He can enlarge the earth more to have all the people just stay alive. But then why would he want? Why would God want to do that? Right? That why if God did that, there will be no need for heaven, right? Because they would all be sitting down here forever and forever and just staying on the earth. See what I'm saying? But why did God even why did God even created man? Why are we even here for? So again, you have questions. You answer one question, it opens the door to another question. Ask the pastor, she know I'll go in her room and I'll be like, and I'll say, but so and so and so, and she'll give me an answer, and I'll be like, nah, but look at it this way. Look at this. But let me just ask you one more question. I'm sure she's probably like, oh my Lord, just drag her out of here. Drag her out my room, please, Father. Drag her out my room. Because that's sometimes how mankind or your brains will work. Question leads to more questions, right? So, what if the answer that's received is the answer you didn't expect when you're asking your questions? You have questions. So, what if the answer that was given to you is the answer that you did not expect? Like, why did you have me? Right? Why did you have me? I had I had no choice. That is not an answer you expect. Sometimes the answer to the question is an answer that you did not expect. Why did you have me? I had no choice. I had no choice. My mama told me I had to have you. We don't believe in abortion, so I had to have you, and now you're here, and now I'm stuck with you. Man, well, if you're looking at me like that, I mean, just give me away, right? So again, the answer to your question is sometimes not the answer you expect. Why did you marry that person? Because I was expected to. I know of a situation. Let me skim through the details of it so that I won't say who these people are, but of someone that they were dating someone for a while, right? They were dating someone for a while, and they were dating this one specific person. And while dating this one specific person, they were dating several other individuals, right? So because they were known in the church to date this one person, the expectation was they were supposed to marry that person. But story go unfold, so and so and so, that it was told that this person didn't really want to marry the person that they were dating for so long because they didn't see that person as their future, as their wife. So what ended up happening? Now they had all these other individuals, these other women that they wanted to be with, and then supposedly one specific female that they wanted to marry. But this one specific female was not known as pastor's wife material, as the person, the male was being elevated to become a pastor. But this one particular person that he wanted to marry, that's said, all said, she wasn't pastor's wife material. But because he was known to be with this one particular woman, he had to marry her. So what is that? Why did you get married? Because I had no choice. I had to marry them. So when people say that, I'm like, let's marry them. And I was like, but why? There we go with the why. But why you had to marry them? Because it was expected to. I was expected to be with this person, so just ended up with them. You see, again, sometimes the answer to your questions are not the answer that you want. Ooh, it's not the answer that will help you, right? Or why are you like this? Why are you like this? For those of you that are married, you say to your spouse, why are you like this? Well, this is how I always been. This is how you met me. This is how you met me. So what do you mean? Why am I like this? I love actually to watch court stories, right? So I like relationship courts when they go in, and then there was this situation the other day I was watching it a few days ago, and a couple went in, and the man was complaining and saying, I don't like how she dressed like that. She dressing everyone outside can see her, and I don't like her to dress so provocatively, and she needs to change her dressing. So the judge said, when you met her, how did she used to dress? She said, like this, like this. And I was like, oh Lord Jesus. So the judge said, but if you met her like that, why do you expect her to change if that's how you met her? See what I'm saying? Why you like this? Because this is how it always was. So some questions that you ask, right? That you throw out there, Prophetess Cherise. The answer may not be what you want. The answer may not be what you want. So we have to be careful because we have questions. We also have to be careful of the questions that we ask. This is why some questions are better left unasked and unanswered. I know that's right. Some questions are better left unasked or unanswered. So sometime if I'm having a conversation with someone, and they say so, I'm like, but then I'm like, you know what? Nah, I'm not even gonna ask that. I'm not gonna ask that because I'm gonna ask that, and the answer may not make sense, right, Prophetess Guy? It's like asking God why you didn't receive that you asked him, what you asked him for. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Like God, I don't ask you this. Like sometimes I'll be like, listen here, Jesus, listen here. I don't ask you this like 50 million times. How many do you need me to ask you a billion times now, Lord? Come on now. Come on, Lord. Why? Come on, Lord. Why, Lord? And then what happens? I get no answer sometimes. You get no answer. Then what? Then I'm like, why are you not trying to answer me? Did I say something wrong? Do something wrong? Are you not trying to give me an answer? So it leads to more questions, right? So what do you do when it comes to questions and you have no answer? First thing you got to make sure you do is make sure the question is not foolish. Don't have foolish questions. I like to say to people, that's a fool. You're asking me a foolish question, so I'm going to give you a foolish answer. Or I wouldn't even say that. When they ask a foolish question, I give a foolish answer, and then they'd be like, "Why you got to answer like that?" Because the question is foolish. Because the question is foolish. Why is this? Why is it so snowy outside? Because it snowed. Why you got to say it like that? Well, because you asked a foolish question. So I'm so I'm gonna give it. Oh, you guys don't even want to live in this house. Me and Mother P all day. Me and Mother, oh God, show Mother P be like this galley all day. Me and Mother P. She'll say something, and I get sarcastic and be smart with her. She's like, you getting beside yourself. I'm like, because you asking me things that don't make no sense, Mother P. Like, come on now, I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time for this. So let's move on. So again, why do you do what do you do when it comes to questions and having an answer, right? Make sure the question isn't foolish. Let's look at Second Timothy 2:23, and we gotta let you go because it's a little chilly outside today, right? Right? Second Timothy 2:23. This is the Darby translation. When you're asking questions, make sure it's not foolish. Right? Okay, so here's what it says. Second Timothy 2:23, the Darby translation. But foolish and senseless questioning avoid, knowing that they beget contentions. But foolish and senseless questioning avoid. So at the end of the day, some questions are just not meant to be asked. Right? I like to watch. I was telling Apostle the other day. I was like, man, I love documentaries. I love to watch documentaries. I'm on it. So watching the documentary, and someone asks a question. Someone asks. I think they asked the person that they're interviewing a question, and the person said, "I'd rather not answer that." Why? Because some foolish and senseless questions avoid. And how to avoid it? I'd rather not answer that. I rather not get sucked into that. I rather not get caught up in that. I rather not deal with that. Sometimes be like, I don't want to deal with that right now. Nope, I don't want to deal with that right now. Let's not even talk about that. Let's move along. We don't want to deal with that. Let's move away. Right? So again, some questions. Some questions. When you ask some questions, Make sure it's not foolish or senseless. Because what does it end up saying? Knowing that they beget contentions. Because what is that? Because it basically leads you to more questions. So you have questions. I don't have the answer. I may have some of the answers. You may have some of the answers for me, but some things are better left not answered. Right? So I hope you all gathered something. Thank you, Sister Glover. I hope you all gathered something here today. I'll let you all go back to your work, go back to your eating, go back to your day, right? But I thank you all so much for joining. Hey guys, is my blog up or is it still rendering? It's still rendering. It'll be up tomorrow, guys. Let me tell you what happened. This is my problem. I was doing one vlog on doing a blog on one. Is it blog? What is it? Lord, I'm my brains. It's a blog, right? It's a blog. Yeah, y'all pray for me, right? Pray for me. Getting fog brains going on, right? So I was doing one. I was doing a vlog, right? On here, and then I was doing it on another, typing it on. So I was typing on two different devices on the computer. And then what happened? Then I went to edit it, and you guys know what I did? I edited one and forgot the edit the other one. Then I was like, oh boy, and I have to reread it. So then I try to merge it as one. Then I just like, then sometimes when I get flustered and I get frustrated, I'm like, oh, I just let it sit for like 3 weeks, and I was like, okay, I think I should go back and finish it now and get it done, right? Right. So it's done. It's done. So it'll be up. It'll be up tomorrow. It's called Expectations. I think it's great. I appreciated it when I was writing. I was like, oh, this is good, Jesus, right? So go ahead next week, and we will you'll be able to read it, right? And I'll let you all know it'll be posted right here in Best of Hope and on Best of Hope on Facebook and on YouTube, and the vlog is ready. But I love you all. I thank you all so much. Let me pray for you, Lord. I thank you for your people. I thank you, God, that even though they have questions, God, some of it just may not be answered and no need to be answered. Some things are better left unsaid as it known. I pray that you continue to keep your people. Bless them today as always. In Jesus' name, amen. Guys, I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all so much for being a part of Best of Hope. Don't forget to like, love, and share. Tell your neighbor, tell your cousins, tell everybody to watch it. And we appreciate you. And I will see you all again. Love you. Mwah. Bye now.